हमारे सरोज की बंदिश the syllables of the
Hello and welcome to day 6 of our 21-day journey together. I thank you all for joining us today. My name is Mitesh, and I hope you've been enjoying the last 5 days just as much as I have been. So just a quick recap. Yesterday, we spoke about the qualities of the chakras along the central channel, and we reviewed the clearing of the right and the left channels, and we also introduced the hand massage. Today, we're going to do something a little bit more practical. Well, yesterday was practical, but even more so today, it's going to be the long anticipated foot soak. Just some housekeepings for you to remember. All of our sessions are recorded. You can see us on YouTube and on Zoom. For those of you who want to partake in the breakout rooms, the support rooms, it is far better to come on to Zoom where we can allocate you a place. Remember, Sahaja Yoga is completely free, and it's a pleasure to be hosting hosting this meditation tonight. Today, we're going to be talking about the natural elements, fire, earth, water, air, and ether, but mainly on the water element. What we'll be doing is an introduction to the foot soak technique, a guided meditation, a video talk by the founder, meditation with live music, and the live question and answer session towards the end. And if you would like to stay on for that, then afterwards we'd have the support groups as well, the support breakout rooms. So with so much to do, let's get cracking. We've got a rich profusion of delightful presenters here before us. Firstly, we have the gregarious, globe-trotting sensation, that is Gabriel. Next, we have the smooth yet terribly sophisticated Sony. And finally, we have the silently suave sarod player, that is Sander. So welcome to all of you tonight, and I would pass you over to Gabriel.
Thank you, Mitesh, for the absolutely eloquent introduction. So as said, my name is Gabriel, and it's true I've been here, there, and everywhere, and it's an absolute privilege to be here tonight to give you just a smidge of information about how foot soaks can and help you transform your meditations from a very practical standpoint. That's all from me. On to Sunny.
Hello and welcome everyone to the 6-day meditation of our 21-day journey. My name is Soni. I have been practicing Sahaja Yoga meditation for 20 plus years. I live in Essex in England, and an absolute pleasure and honor to be here.
All right, I am Sander. You might have seen me on the session as well 2 days ago, I believe. If you weren't there then, just to quickly introduce myself, my name is Sander. I've been meditating for well over 10 years actively at this point, and I also like to play some music sometimes, which is what I'm going to do for you during the meditation as well tonight. So looking forward.
Great, thank you, presenters. Now I'll pass you over to Gabriel.
So hopefully by now, ladies and gentlemen, you have prepared or have in front of you a plastic foot soak tub, which should include the following: water, salt, a hand soak towel, as well as a jug of clean water. Now, the idea of a foot soak is quite straightforward and simple. To get into meditation, it's essential to have a few preparatory cleansing techniques in hand. And we will be introducing a few of these across the upcoming days. And the first one, and the most practical one that most of us who've been meditating, myself for a decade, do so on a daily basis. So the foot soak especially works with the element of the water. And this element of the water interacts with the tattva of the Nabi energy center, which also corresponds with this specific element. So by using this water element, we're able to cleanse quite easily the first 3 energy centers within our subtle system. And what I would recommend to you is also to not only test this at your home on a very experiential basis, but also give it a try in the actual natural environments outdoors, especially that if you live close to a sea. So me being originally a Finnish person, any weather, any climate is fine for me, especially if it's cold. So even though it might be a bit chilly nowadays, still if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, I would suggest trying this out in your local coast, just seeing how the environment of the actual sea interacts with your subtle system. Because this process is 1, inexpensive, 2, quite fast, and 3, only takes about 50 minutes or so to complete. And in that way, you get done and dusted in a matter of moments to give yourself, essentially, to give yourself a better start to your meditation. The meditation is a silent part of your evening. And these are the preparatory stages which build up to that state of thoughtless awareness. And that's all you need today. The last thing I want to underline is, of course, that in order to have a proper and good foot soak, it's essential to take your socks off first, because you don't want to soak your feet into the foot soak tub when you still have those on. So please do leave those on the side, otherwise you will be great to go ahead. That's all from me. And if you have your foot soak tubs ready, great and good. If not, you still have a moment to prepare them. And that's all from me, and we're heading on to Sony for the actual cleansing part of this evening.
Thank you, Gabriel. That was a wonderful introduction. Sets the scene and a great foundation to what we are going to do now, a foot soak. So I hope you all have a tub with water in it in front of you. In case you haven't managed it, do not worry, it's absolutely fine. You can follow as we go along, and perhaps in the next few sessions, or you can try it on your own, in your own time. So let's begin. So the first thing first we do in Sahaja Yoga meditation is we raise our Kundalini and put ourselves into Bandhan. We've done this exercise in our last few days we had meditation, but in case you missed it, not a problem, let's do it together. So we use both our left and the right hand, and of course you can see the handout in front of you. So just to mention, the left hand goes from the spine all the way up till the top, until the top of our head, and the right hand is rotating around. So that's the movement. Let's do it together. Let's start from the base of the spine. And slowly, slowly, we take our hand up and tie one nice virtual knot. Bring both our hands back and repeat the same exercise. This time, when we reach at the top of our head, we tie 2 virtual knots. Bring our hands back down one more time. And this time, when we reach at the top of our head, we tie 3 virtual knots. Bring our hands back down. So essentially, this is for each channel we have, the left, right, and center. And now we're going to create a rainbow or an arch around us. So the left hand stays in the lap, and we will use our right hand. So we start from the left side. So it goes all the way up, and it comes back. So that's 1. And we're going to do this 7 times. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. We don't necessarily have to count, but just in the beginning to get used to the idea of how to raise the Kundalini, this really helps. Now, we have a foot soak tub in front of us. So what we're going to do is take a handful of salt and we're going to drop it in the water. And now we place both our feet in the water. So water level, generally ankle level, is perfect to have it. An important thing here is to sit very comfortably, because what we want during the foot soak, or in general, when we are meditating, is to feel absolutely comfortable, because you want your attention to be inside within yourself. So let's just give ourselves about 30 seconds to draw our attention inside within us. Let's just have these 10, 12 minutes completely for ourselves. Now we'll take our right hand, which goes towards the sky, towards the ether. So if you're sitting on a chair, so your hand is pointing towards the earth, towards the floor. And the left hand, it stays in our lap, very comfortably in our lap. Now, this is a posture to cleanse our left channel. And left channel is to do with our past, with our emotions. And we are going to take the help of the earth element. So in our hearts, we'll say a simple affirmation. Please absorb all the impurities, all the imbalances from our left channel into the earth. Please cleanse and purify my left channel. Let's just genuinely let go. Anything that has been disturbing, distracting, please help me cleanse my left channel. Now we'll bring our right hand back in our lap, palm upwards. And the left hand goes towards the ceiling, towards the sky, just exactly how you see in the handout. And this posture helps us to cleanse our right channel. Right channel is to do with future, all the planning, all the activity which goes around it. So to bring into balance our thoughts, our actions, we will seek the help from the ether element. A simple affirmation inside. Please remove all the imbalances, all the impurities from my right channel into the ether element. Please cleanse and purify the right channel. One more time, we'll say from our heart, please cleanse and purify my right channel. We can bring our left hand back in our lap. So both the hands in our lap, palm upwards. And now we'll slowly take our attention on the central channel. That's the channel to do with our present, this moment, the reality. So let's just take deep breath 3 times. So we're using the air element. So let's breathe out first, and then we'll automatically breathe in deep. Let's do it 3 times. Let's just make sure we are completely relaxed. Our shoulders, our arms. And very humbly we'll ask the energy within us, the Kundalini energy, to remove all the thoughts from the past, from the future, for us to be completely present. We can bring both our hands up to the chest level. And we can take our attention on our palm, on our fingertips. And let's just witness, is there any movement, anything we can feel? Be a cool breeze, warm breeze, or a tingling sensation. So depending on how you're feeling in each hand or on a finger, in Sahaja Yoga, we have a way to decode them, to understand why we feel a particular finger or one side of our hand not so cool but warm, or some sort of uncomfortable sensation. So there are more sessions to come on that. So on that note, what we'll do is we will conclude our foot soak. And to conclude our foot soak, generally we would raise our Kundalini again, put ourselves into Bandhan, but since the session is going to continue and it's not just ending here, so the raising of the Kundalini we'll do a bit later on. So what we can certainly do is now rinse our feet with the water. So you may have a beaker with the fresh water. So 1 feet at a time, we can lift it, pour some water on it as if you are rinsing, and put it on a fresh towel, or whether it's a kitchen towel or a fabric towel, doesn't matter. The same thing with the second feet. Put some water, take it out, and put it on the towel. Now you can wipe your feet and just make sure you don't put your feet back in the water once you've taken it out, because essentially the water has now absorbed anything which was unwanted in our subtle system. So when you do it on a daily basis, usually we will take the tub almost as we finish the foot soak, take the water in the toilet, put it down through the toilet, flush it, wash our hands, and that is the final conclusion to the foot soak. But given we are in the session, if I may ask you to just put your bowl next to you or a little bit away from you so that we can continue with the session. And after the session, certainly take the bowl in the toilet and throw the water down into the toilet. So now what we want to do is stay in a meditative state. So let's place our right hand, so just the palm, at the top of our head. Automatically our attention goes on top of our head. And bring our hand back down in our lap. And we're going to sit in silent meditation keeping our attention where our hand was for a few minutes, just to take in completely.
I bow to all the seekers of truth. First of all, we have to know what is the truth. People are seeking all over, but they don't know what they are seeking and what should they get after they are seeking. This seeking can lead you into many diverse directions. Some of them could be very, very dangerous and absolutely misleading. And many must have also felt that way. I'm sure there are many who have found it out, but they think there is no way they can return. The seeking is very simple to understand, that you want to know yourself. All the time we say, I want this, I like this, I that. But who is this I? What is it? Who is this one myself? What am I? Do I know anything about myself? It's very superficial knowledge we have about ourselves. Everybody has said, all the religions have said, you should know yourself. There's no difference on this point. Actually, in all religions, if you go in the essence, there's no difference. According to time, it was a little bit stressed on one point and sometimes on another point. But the fundamental thing is that you have to know yourself. How do you know yourself is the point. People will say, do this, give up everything, give up your family, give up everything, wear this kind of dress, cut your hair or shave your hair and all that nonsense. It's so outward. If you put little bit of your intelligence, you'll see it's all outward. It's so skin deep, it has no meaning. So what has to happen? We talk of a last breakthrough of the evolution. How do you achieve it? When you are evolved up to the state of human beings, we have to know one thing for definite, that there's something missing within us. Otherwise, the world would have been a most beautiful place, the paradise to live in. But something wrong with the human beings, and what is that? Is to understand how we have come through evolution. And as human beings, there are so many things of the animal stage lingering within us. The way we talk, the way we try to appraise others, the way we talk to sort of dominate others, the way we want to snatch everything, the way we are only worried about our food, this, that, all this is not really noble human beings' sides. These are all lingering from that animal instinct. All right, we have to accept, because we are human beings, so they are to be there. The thing so much frightening. But also we have one more thing, that we think. And we think and think and think and think no end of ourselves sometimes. Sometimes we think we should protest for this. Sometimes we feel that we must become very violent. All these things are coming from our human mind. Animals won't be violent for something just for violence sake. They'll be violent, all right, but for their own purpose of killing some animal or something. But here we have groups and groups of people who just enjoy violence. This is another development in the human awareness, I think, that we enjoy destruction of others. But also there is a seeking. This is a sign that people want their evolution. They want to evolve into a better personality. That they want to become something which is complete. Now, how do you achieve it? Now, I must say that we have not achieved our evolution ourselves up to the human level. So, to achieve a higher awareness, there must be some arrangement between us. And that is the arrangement we are not aware of. And that arrangement is that within you is the power, it's your own power to give you this last breakthrough through the awakening of that power. Already you have been told about it. It exists, it is there, and it is the right of every human being to get his self-knowledge, self-realization. Sahaja, Sa means born with you. With you is born the right. And why should we not ask under fundamental rights society that we should have our self-realization, which is your own? It is there already placed within you. You don't have to do anything. Of course you can't pay for it. How much did you pay for your evolution so far? And how can it be different from different people? Because in every human being, this power, which we call as Kundalini, exists, whether he is white, black, yellow, blue, any color. Whether he belongs to north or south, any place. Whether he belongs to this country or that country, they all have this power universally placed in their Kundalini.
We can get back into a meditative state, meditative mood. Now, what I'm going to play for you is a raga, or a scale, if you can call it that, which is particularly suitable for the energy center which we have on the top of the head, at the crown of the head, which is kind of an integration of all the qualities of different energy centers. And so what you can do is to put your attention just on the top of your head, where you might have felt something already in the previous meditations. Can you just keep your attention there on the top of the head? You can close your eyes if you want, and try to stay in meditation without getting involved in thoughts for just a few more minutes. We can end this meditation by once again doing what we started with, which is raising our Kundalini and giving ourselves abundance. So we can just keep our left hand in front of us, our right hand revolving around it, going all the way up to the top of our head, and we make a knot. We do this a second time. We do it with full attention, full intention. We make a second knot. And then one more time, making 3 knots. And then we make 7, what we call bandhans around us. So with our right hand starting on the left, going all the way over our head and back. That's 1. And we repeat this 7 times. We repeat it 6 times, 7 times in total. Once for each energy center.
Thank you very much, Sander, for that presentation. It has just completely relaxed me and made me sort of speechless now. But I shall try and carry on. So just to conclude on tonight's meditation, we did a foot soak and we learned a little bit more about the chakras and the lower qualities, the lower chakras. And I briefly wanted to mention to you about what we're planning to do tomorrow. So there's something really exciting that's going to happen tomorrow. And the slide is here. We're going to be talking about what you are feeling, your sensations, the sensitivity. Can you feel the cool breeze on top of your head? Can you feel the cool breeze or any sensations on your palms? So we're going to be going deeper and deeper into this Kundalini awakening. But even more excitingly, I'm just going to briefly mention to you about a mini project that we're doing. It is the mentoring program. And tomorrow we're going to have Felicity, who's going to talk in greater detail about this. And she will go through exactly what that entails. But for those of you who have been on this journey with us and have sort of wanted that one-to-one mentoring, wanted extra information, we're going to try and match you up with someone either who is local to your area, or someone who you've built a rapport with, someone who can continue to help you along with your journey. So that's something really exciting that's going to happen tomorrow. And I won't say anything more about that. But what I'd like to do is to reintroduce our panel of presenters. Gabriel, Sony, and Sander back on to the main room. And here we're going to invite all of you, all the audience members, all the people to ask us any questions. If you've got any questions that you want to ask us, please feel free to ask us on the chat. In the meantime, if you can just go back to the slide, I just want to remind people that we're having this program every day for 21 days. It starts promptly at 7:45. Please bookmark the link above, because there you'll have access to all the resources, all the handouts, all the information. You don't have to remember anything at all. It's all there, categorized in a chronological order. Remember, in the chat links, you've got important links to the WhatsApp group so that you can join us and we can share with you various many questions and answers. So let's see if there's any questions. Right.
There's no trivial question, small question, or a silly question. So now is a good moment to ask anything that might be on your mind. Don't be shy. Feel free to fire away on all cylinders if you want.
So I've got one for you, actually, Gabriel. The first question is, I'm not sure if it's a question, I'll just read it out. Can't wait for tomorrow. Thank you so much for this evening. For the first time today, my hips started moving clockwise. And since I've started this program, my index finger has become a little numb. I don't know why. Are you able to shed further light on that, Gabriel?
Yes, 100%. So just to double check, have we talked about how there is a haptic feedback system between the subtle system and the hands, and how they are indicative of the certain state our energy centers have in the subtle body? Yes or no?
I think we've alluded to it, but they're very early in their journey, and
Okay.
we're going to go deeper and deeper next week.
Okay, so just as a teaser trailer then, to slightly shed light on this topic, the beauty of Sahaja Yoga meditations is that, first of all, as I mentioned, it's experiential, and moreover, it's something that you tangibly feel cascading across your whole body. That being said, it's nowhere close to a blind superstition, because everything you do, every action you do, meditation or not, is reflected in your body, and you can feel it. And one of the ways is our hands. Our hands are one of the most sensitive parts of our body, with numerous nerve endings. And you will see on the upcoming weeks that certain states are reflected on certain parts of our hands. And the index fingers are indicative of a certain energy center that I happen to use quite often, and also sometimes get quite numb, so it's not a surprise, which is this center over here. It's called the chat box, or also the Vishuddhi chakra. So if you're feeling your index fingers a little bit, that might mean, first of all, that you are sensitizing yourself to these sensations of vibrations, which we'll learn more about in the upcoming sessions. So A, it's great that you're feeling something in your hands. B, keep track of it. And C, see if there's improvement in later stages. So that's the 3-step maneuver of, well, there you go. So those are the positions or of sensations you can feel that are indicative to certain energy centers within the subtle body. So actually keep track. If you are feeling already, that's great. Sometimes it takes a time to develop that sensitivity, so no fear if you're not near to that yet. So that's my 2 cents on that topic.
It's a brilliant answer, Gabriel. Excellent, really. And I think it's going to keep them coming next week for more information, because we're revealing more and more about our subtle system. Brilliant. A question for you, Sander. A gentleman has asked, can you do foot soaking twice a day?
Absolutely. Why not? I don't see why not. Definitely you can. Of course, we try not to get too fanatic, but 2 foot soaks is definitely not too fanatic, I would say. So as long as it is something that feels right, as long as you're not doing it in a dogmatic or habitual way, you do it, with intention, then I think please, go for it. Do 3 if you feel that you need it.
That's a great answer. Yeah, brilliant. A question for you, Sony. A lady has just asked, what does it mean to see colors of the lotus drifting upwards while in meditation?
Well, that's an interesting one. So in the beginning, especially if it's your first time or first few times of meditating, there are certain things bound to happen in our subtle system. Whether it can be very subtle, it can be very obvious. Think of it like an analogy. For a year, no exercise is done, and suddenly you hit the gym. That particular day, you do feel some aches and pains, probably head swimming or whatever. So it's exactly the same thing. We are looking here into our subtle system, into our different energy centers, left, right, center. We are bound to feel something unusual, but all positive, I must say. So if you're seeing colors, or some people see in the beginning visions, I wouldn't worry too much about it, because ultimate goal is to have that clean slate, like a blank canvas. By that, I mean, there are no thoughts, and it's very much possible in Sahaja Yoga meditation. There's no anxiety, there's no worry, there's no vision. All you have is a subtle, sweet, cooling feeling in your hands. And in the beginning, everyone feels different. You may feel calm, you may feel relaxed. But the state we want to be is a state where it's what we call as thoughtless awareness. So there are no thoughts, yet you're aware of what's happening around you. So that's how it works. So in the beginning, all of this, it happens, and just take it as a pinch of salt and keep doing. That's the advice. Keep doing.
I like the pun there, pinch of salt today with the foot soaking. That's brilliant. Just on the theme of foot soak, a lady has just asked me to request back to Gabrielle. She said, you mentioned having a plastic bowl for foot soaking, but I've got an aluminium bowl. Will that be, which material is best advised?
The material. Well, I, for one, have not gone through the tests of trying aluminium, ceramic, plastic, whatnot. As long as it works for you, that's great. I have a feeling that aluminum, how do you pronounce that? I have no idea whatsoever.
Well, if you're American, it would be aluminum, wouldn't it? Yes, but we're English, so
I see.
Yes.
I see. I'm confusing people. Okay. In any case, I would suggest trying out different options. I'm sure a metal bowl is fine. Apologies for the sound in the background, but I will once again insist trying it out in the ocean. Because if you go to a beach and you really try and see the difference between seawater and then rather imitating seawater in a foot soak tub, there's a vast difference. And I, for one, enjoy full body foot soaks, so actually jumping into the water and completely inundating myself into that essence of the water, and that is one of the best clear outs you can have.
I feel you. I feel like I want to just go straight into the ocean right now, although it's the middle of winter. You made it sound really good. You made it. Yeah, but you're Finnish, I guess, so you'll do it. Or you do it anytime, wouldn't you? I guess.
Time is great.
And just one last question, and this is for Sander. A lady's asked, what's the difference between ego and superego? She's heard this word being mentioned quite a few times in Sahaja Yoga. What is this?
That's a tricky question. But so, I mean, the way, these are just Sahaja Yoga terms, let's say, which might be slightly different from how they are being used in psychology or something like that. So, but the Sahaj usage of the words, our ego is all our identifications, everything, how we see ourselves, how we relate ourselves to others as well. While our superego is more like our conditionings, the things that have built up in us from the past. So the ego kind of builds up on the left hemisphere of our brain. There you go. If we can, exactly. So the yellow balloon there, and basically you can imagine it as in that when we overuse our right side, it builds up this balloon on the left side of our brain. So it crosses and kind of accumulates there. And then the side effect is that we start to become maybe aggressive. We think no end of ourselves. We kind of act in a way without respect for others. On the other end, on the left channel, we have the superego. It's the blue balloon at the top, also the right hemisphere of the brain. And that's where all the things from our past, emotions, maybe possible traumas, have been built up, all the conditionings we have accumulated throughout our lives. And so that's how we understand the difference. Basically, the ego is coming from the right and the superego coming from the left.
Brilliant.
I think we'll talk more in depth about those.
Yeah, I was just going to say that we're just getting so many questions, and this is actually my cue to suggest all of us to go into breakout rooms, because the depth of questions that we're getting are so fantastic. I mean, I wish we had an endless amount of time and we could really then go through them, but I think it would be better to do it in the breakout rooms. Now, remember, if it's your very, very first time here, you have to raise your hand and you'll be put into a separate breakout room where they'll give you your self-realization. But if you've been coming for the regular days with us, then just write breakout room help, and you'll be put into another room where a Sahaja Yoga practitioner will then chat with you and then discuss all these questions.
Might I add that it would be good to not write in a direct message, because I don't think we can handle I mean, maybe either write it publicly or write it to the breakout room help account.
We have some IT people behind who are co-hosts, and they can see all the messages, and they're also sorting it out at the moment. So no, it's great. It's all under control and everything's great. I'm so glad that I was able to share my panel with you, Gabriel, Sony, and Sander. It's been truly amazing. I felt so relaxed. I just couldn't get the words out. It's just amazing. So thank you for elevating my evening. And I would also like to thank all of the audience, all of the participants, everyone who zoomed in to the Zoom meetings to enjoy this sort of celestial evening of meditation. So thank you very much. And all those who are on the Zoom, not Zoom, the YouTube links, please come on to Zoom, and then you can be given a breakout room. Otherwise, continue to enjoy the evening. We'll still be on here. We'll have some background music. You can stay on the main room if you want and enjoy the music, or else get chatting with various Sahaja Yogis. Thank you.
Thank you for having us, Mitesh.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.